For more, Benedict Rogers joins me now from London. He's a human rights activist and chief executive of Hong Kong Watch. So, Benedict, week after week, we see these erosions of press freedom, of protest freedom. What is left in Hong Kong in terms of voicing dissent?
Well, the answer is almost nothing. Freedom to protest, freedom of the press, academic freedom, all freedoms now have been dismantled in Hong Kong. And everyone I know that is involved in or has been involved in the democracy movement in Hong Kong is either currently in prison on trial, keeping their heads down, or have gone into exile. And that's the state of freedom in Hong Kong.
You know, anywhere in the world where you have those freedoms established, number one, and highly valued, number two, sooner or later, oppressing those is going to backfire. But in this case, where you have China being the one cracking down, it's tough to see what a backfire would even look like.
Well, it is. I think you're correct that at some point it will backfire, but exactly how remains to be seen, because there is now a climate of real fear in Hong Kong. People can't take to the streets to protest because they know not only will they be arrested, but very probably subjected to real brutality, as we saw police brutality in 2019. So I think it's now up to a large extent, up to the international community to respond and to make it clear to Beijing that they can't dismantle freedoms in total breach of an international treaty without paying some consequences. And that means some form of really coordinated, robust, targeted sanctions.
Right, and after the national security law went into effect, you know, people were predicting things that would happen, and we're seeing that come to pass with these convictions and people being sentenced to very lengthy prison sentences. Where do you see this going?
I think we will see more of the same. We'll see the regime going after particularly the key leaders of the democracy movement, and they will pile on the charges as they've done today with Chow, as they have done with Jimmy Lai, as I'm sure they'll do with Joshua Wong and others. They will try to keep the key vocal leaders in prison, both to keep them silent and to instill fear in everyone else.
Okay, so when it comes to China's other behavior, for example, what some might consider more dangerous, more pressing issues, for example, involving the Uyghurs within China, you do see that international pressure, progressing. You see things like businesses refusing to do business there. Do you see that kind of pressure ultimately coming surrounding Hong Kong as well?
Well, I think it certainly should. You're right that we have seen more and more countries describing the Uyghur situation as genocide, more countries calling for a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics next year because of the Uyghur genocide. In response to Hong Kong, apart from the United States, which has responded with some sanctions, we've only so far seen statements. And my message to democracies around the world is democracy in Hong Kong has been dismantled. Statements are not enough. We need to see action now.
All right, Benedict Rogers, a pleasure to have you join us.